Faithy and her team went out scavenging, which means Aaron and Jewel are on guard duty at the front of the mall. Remember, if you see a zombie, report the zombie. Don't try to fight it on your own. That's how you get a bite. That's it for who's on guard duty today. Let's see. In other news, keep an ear out for Mrs. Wilder, because she's due to give birth any day now. Oh, and Tyram says we're low on rations again, so don't expect anything too fancy from the kitchens today. And finally, some good news. The evacuation is in only 5 days. Now, speaking of Mrs. Wilder, I've invited her here with the kids for an interview.
You've known me for 3 years, Mason. I think you can call me Wimifrey.
You know I'll never do that. Anyhow, Mrs. Wilder, why don't you properly introduce yourself?
To the camp? Everyone already knows me. I watch over Lily and Xander.
Well, yeah, but, what if someone is out there listening to this broadcast right now? It's not like there's anything else to listen to in the middle of the apocalypse.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. My name is Wimifrey Wilder. I handle the child care in our little survivors group. I'm 9 months pregnant, hoping the little one won't come along until after the military's evacuate us to that fancy new moon colony.
God, but it would be just our luck for it to happen in the last 5 days before then.
Oh, honey, please don't go manifesting it.
Right, sorry. So, Mrs. Wilder, I've known you ever since I moved to Kitmouth, and you've always seemed like an expert on the city.
Born and raised here.
Hell yeah. So, in your opinion, on a scale from Arkmunster to Blackpool, how well suited is Kitmouth to the zombie apocalypse we've come to know and love?
Well, love is a strong word, dear. But frankly, I think we're far better off than those poor folks in Arkmunster. You know, there's a reason they got evacuated first. Their streets are full of potholes.
And you think that makes the zombie apocalypse worse for them?
It certainly can't help.
Fair enough. And what would you say to any traveling Arkmunsters looking for another evacuation outlet?
I'd say, come on over. But don't you go pretending we're any worse than your home just because our HOA allows gardens.
A warm welcome indeed. Oh, shit, Lily.
Lily, we don't throw things. Maybe it's about time we head back to the daycare.
All right. Anything else you'd like to say to our mostly undead audience?
Sure. George, if you're out there, I hope your business trip was awful, and please know that I don't expect you home in time for dinner, let alone evacuation.
Have you ever considered couples counseling?
Oh, he'll chase anything with a pulse, dear. He's worse than these zombies. You find me a therapist with that one, and maybe I'll consider it.
Right. Well, at least she's got the whole camp here to support her with the baby. She's practically like a mother to me. Don't tell her I said that, though. Anyway, I'm gonna play some funky music and... This is weird. We're getting a call. That doesn't usually happen. Maybe Tyram is trying to get my attention?
Hey, is this the radio person?
Yeah, it's Mason.
No time. I'm in kind of a pickle right now. I'm surrounded by zombies.
Well, if you can make it to the old mall, there are a bunch of other survivors here.
That's my goal, but right now I am surrounded.
Where are you? Maybe we can send someone.
I'm in this old radio shop, but the zombies are pounding on the doors.
Oh man, that's by the hospital everyone flocked to when the virus first sprung up. No wonder there are zombies on your tail. That's really far away. Okay. At least one of the radios must work. That's how you heard me, right? Turn the volume all the way up and throw it through one of the windows.
Why?
I'll make a ton of noise. It'll draw all the zombies towards wherever you throw the radio. Then you can escape while they're distracted.
I guess that could work. Be quiet while I get ready to throw it. Now!
Hey, zombies! I'm right over here, a human ripe for the taking. I have hella brains, too.
You did it! I managed to escape. I'm headed down the street now.
That's great. So what's...
Sorry, I have to go. My battery's low. But I'll call back when I'm closer to the mall.
I guess back to business as usual?
Hey Mason, how's the broadcast going?
Oh, Wyncyn, are you on your break?
Yeah, finally. Cesar and I were listening to the show though. What's up with that new guy?
The survivor? I don't know. He didn't even give me his name, he just hung up. And he's pretty much on the opposite side of town. I don't know if he'll be able to make it here in time for the evacuation. Not on his own.
You know, if there's another survivor nearby, we should probably tell Tyram. Maybe we could even send out a search party.
With what rations? You know how strict he's been recently. He's not going to like the idea of a stranger joining us. He was barely okay with Esme joining a few days ago.
Well, what are you gonna do? Not tell him?
No, of course I'll tell him. Hell, he might be listening right now. Tyrone, there's a person out there who needs our help.
Tyrone hates the radio station. You know that.
Right, well, I tried to tell him, didn't I? All my listeners can attest to the fact that I tried to tell Tyrone. It's not my fault he never listens to my broadcasts.
Right. Anyway, you could maybe send Ivy looking around for this new guy. She's out scavenging with Elris and Silvery right now.
Diethy is almost definitely listening right now, but we're on the opposite side of town from that radio shop on Daymero. It would take days to get there.
Damn. Anyway, I'd better get back to the kitchen. It's almost time to start sorting out lunch. Do you want me to bring you yours?
Nah, I think I can make it over there today. Thanks, though.
No problem. See you soon.
Well, you heard him. It's just about time for our regularly scheduled lunch break. Let's have some music until I get back. Until next time, survivors. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, the story was just beginning. The story of 4 speakers, beings granted power over the universal language, over words and the power they represent. Meet Tabitha the Fox.
My dear, your wits are not nearly as powerful as your beauty. Learn from this, my dear, is what he'll call up to the crow.
Margie the Innkeeper.
I think you might need some help. And I really mean that, like, nicely. I'm not trying to say that you're weird or anything. I think we're all a bit kooky in this town.
Viola the Librarian.
No, Edward, there are no ghosts in the library. We've been over this many times. There are no hauntings in this library. We're not built over a burial ground. No one died here. There are no ghosts in the library.
And Orion the Newcomer.
I want to give it a chance, even though it's not looking good. I've only spent the day in this town, and I'm sure it's better than where I came from anyways.
As classic literature springs to life in the small town of Fox Jumps, these speakers must learn to tell their own story. Storybook Ending is an actual play podcast using Spell the RPG by Whimsy Machine Games. Find us bi-weekly on Wednesdays wherever you listen to podcasts.